decided. Well, for the girls section, it's a little bit less, a little bit more clear and therefore a little bit less stress perhaps. For us, for the open section, everything open in the open section, yeah, which sounds logical. So let's quickly update ourselves and the viewers on how the current standing looks like. So I believe we can start with the girls section where we have a clear leader by a decent margin of 1 point. Beydullayeva from Azerbaijan. Right, her closest rival, the top seed, Nargil Salimova. And they've already played each other, which is interesting. So it will be basically Beydullayeva trying to finish solid and Salimova looking for, first of all, winning her own games if this goes according to plan, and also waiting for Beydullayeva to kind of make mistake, drop a point, and so on.
Yep, and we do have also 4 other participants who are fighting to get top 3 places, because here to be top junior, get the bronze medal or get the silver medal, really is a big thing. So those 4 players are now facing the leaders, while in the boys section, let's do that.
So board 1, Beydullayeva, the leader with 1 full point lead. Zala or with white pieces. That's very, very good situation for Beydullayeva. Once again, like draw is fine and win most means winning the tournament.
Oh yes, but if Beydullayeva wins this game,
that's what I'm saying. Beydullayeva wins. She's practically, she's not guaranteed yet.
But...
She's not guaranteed yet, but that's a huge step. Yes, if she wins. So Ragozin defense with bishop g5, knight d7. Sala played it yesterday. Played the same line with white against Salimova, right? When we had castle, e3, c5, and so on, right? So today she finds herself on the black side of this same e3, h6. Somewhat. Yeah, bishop takes f6. You have to be careful not to recapture with the knight, which is the most natural because of this stupid check on a4.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, black. You can with the queen, there is nothing wrong with it. But usually black, that moment is where black captures on c3, captures on f6, bishop d3, and here we have it. So white has double pawns, but it's not that important because it's very hard to surround those pawns, right? White can trade any time. Usually it'd be like a very, very tough, very, very tough task for white to get any sort of meaningful advantage, because black will play c5 very often, right? Bishop d3, you probably can do c5 right now. You can castle. I think there's nothing wrong with castle. If white castles, perhaps she doesn't have anything better to do. You can actually think of taking and playing c5, right? So it'd be...
It's also a possibility.
It'd be looking like, what's it called? Tell me, I'll tell you. Semi-Tarrasch defense. We can make it look like a semi-Tarrasch defense. Do, let's say, b6, e4, takes. I understand it's not the only option, but yeah, this will be semi-Tarrasch. This will also be like very good for black version of semi-Tarrasch, because black usually is not getting such a comfortable setup.
Yeah, black is on time to develop everything.
By the way, Zala captured on c4 even before castling. Takes, and then she castles, and then she's prepared for c5. Here, though, since you've captured one move earlier, I wonder how crazy would be to play something like g4.
Yeah, actually, I was also thinking of when I said I've never seen something like this here.
We are taught by the best of us, like Mamedyanov and these kind of guys, that, Queen's Gambit, okay, still g4 is a viable option, right? And interestingly, I believe that if black captures on g4, white kind of always has some unpleasant initiatives. Rook to g1, and then imagine like f5 is not the move. If you go back to f6, then white jumps to e5 with the knight. Queen's coming. I'm not saying that white's successful and he checkmates black and so on, but I believe white has enough compensation, let's put it this way. And white will not even castle long, but might keep the king on f1 if needed. The other rook will come to the center, yeah, queen f3. So perhaps more problematic would be to prove that it's worthy move if black plays something along the lines of c5 and still tries to open the center and is not yet getting anywhere with his attack. g5 is perhaps too early. Reason being that you cannot recapture normally because of this check. Once again, this reoccurring theme of like black winning, or I mean one side winning a piece with the double attack. Then if you take with e-pawn, once again, queen a5, annoying. You might take with the queen, like planning to bring it to h4, but once again, quite a rugged structure, right? So,
it is, and I kind of have a feeling when I think of g4 move that if white has another piece, like dark square bishop or another knight, that's a different story. It might work in that way.
Yeah,
better.
maybe. Maybe. It's just that I'm not insisting on g4 being a good move. My point was that if you try to play normally, that's what white ended up doing, castling, whatsoever. It's really hard to get anything meaningful with white. And you can probably still try to press a little with sub knight e5, maybe play f4, but it's not that many pieces left. Black should be able to complete the development and
well,
equalize
after
the game.
b6 here, can white play knight f3? Sorry, queen f3? Knight e5, c5, knight e5, b6.
I should probably not play b6 because then, yeah, then after queen f3,
yeah?
I do have some problems because of, yeah, like rook's hanging, rook b8 runs into
knight
c6. Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't be scared. Knight c6, there is bishop b7. Ah, no, you take, black takes, and then white takes on e6. And probably is better. Yeah, so that's to avoid. No, I guess after knight e5, you can play queen c7. You could probably start this immediately, kind of trying to trade the knight. Yeah, I agree. White does seem to be better here anyway.
All right, let's now move to the second board where we do have all the boards, almost all the boards in the girls section and in open section already. Second game has been ended. So we have another draw here before we go to the break because we do have on the first board some changes.
Yeah, on board one, Beydullayeva actually does seem to be getting somewhere. Yeah, as we said, c5, knight 5, queen c7. White went rook c1. Just to be able, just not to worry about this bishop, right? So now cd4 is always answered with cd4 and rook guards the bishop. b6, so at least now queen f3 does nothing. White went f4 and after bishop b7. Maybe bishop b7 is a bit too naive because f5, it looks threatening. It looks threatening. The question is, do you play bishop d5? Maybe bishop d5 is what you have to do. I'm just thinking if black captures on f5, then after rook f5, she'll find it hard to defend everything. Like rook f6 already being a very serious threat. And the knight can't really move because f7, right?
Yeah.
So this looks as I would look for some move like bishop d5, you know, to stop white's pressure on this diagonal, but might still be not so simple. Might still be not so simple. Maybe bishop d3 and then white tries to build a battery on this diagonal. Yeah. Is it a lot? We don't know, but it's clear that it's white who has the initiative so far in this game.
It is. Now let's take a look at the bio of...
Well, in the girls section, we might the name of the champion this round. So once again, the situation, Beydullayeva from Azerbaijan leading with 1 full point clear ahead of the second place. Right, and the position on her board, that's where we left it, and black played a couple of very unfortunate moves, and especially this one, knight f6 to d7, so now Beydullayeva can take on d7, go f6, and it seems that she's having a winning advantage. Right, so she wins this game, it all breaks down to her closest rival winning the game, a theoretical chance catching up with Beydullayeva. So on board 2, Salimova will have to win, and so far it doesn't seem to be likely. But yeah, but that's the first board, the most important, right? So after knight d7, really, white can take, and go f6, and I think it's so natural that's. I'd be surprised if white doesn't do it. Okay, you probably can improve on this variation by going e4 first or whatever, but yeah, essentially that's the idea you have. Just go f6 and you attack the king. You, in any case, kind of open the king's shelter. You seize a lot of space. So it's very hard to come up with any sensible defense for black. And it's only moving, so somehow effortlessly white got a very big advantage. So I guess all correct till now, but after f4, black probably should have done something else if it was possible. So bishop d7, bishop b7, d5. This was still fine. Maybe should have insisted on trading the bishops, like bishop e4 would have been better. Or bishop e4 would probably drop a pawn like this. You cannot... Can you recapture? It's tricky, right? Because rook takes f6. I mean, lot of possibilities for white. But yeah, but after knight d7, you don't really need a lot of possibilities. You just take on d7, go f6, and you're probably winning.
Still, she's thinking answers after f6, because knight takes d7, queen takes d7 should be played. And it is interesting what will be white's after f6. Probably g6 is the answer to keep the game going on.
Yeah, but I'm honestly scared that black is not making it out of yeah, like e4. This loses immediately to queen d2, but also if you move the bishop away, queen d2 to be extremely strong.
The thing is now h6 pawn is hanging, and when you play king to h7, now rook can lift on f3.
Yeah, rook f3. C takes rook h3, and it's probably checkmate.
h3, 5, you can sacrifice the rook.
Yeah, you can take immediately and go queen g5, or just play queen g5. Yeah, you probably just take, yeah, and if pawn takes, you
e5,
go.
and
e5 is a checkmate. Yeah, queen g5 is also a checkmate, right? Because queen g7 is threatening, rook g8, queen h5, yeah. So that actually proves that black's position is terrible. All right, so once again, if she wins, that means Salimova will need to win at any cost to keep the tournament intrigue alive. And now, yeah, after...
Time to when she played against
Beydullayeva,
yeah.